How to get our clock face image ready for the laser. We want to make sure that we're doing that correctly and that we have that all lined up. So you can see down here I've been playing around with a few, but what we're going to do actually today is create new. And we want to go to a custom size, and you can see here I've actually got some custom size already done. I'm going to name this clock, and we can change the width and the height, but first, instead of pixels, let's go to millimeters, and in here we're actually going to make this sideways. So the width is going to be 220, 220, and the height 200. Remembering we're doing this sideways. Pixels per centimeter, we're going to go with 100. And that's what we're going to start off with. So we're going to hit create. So you can see now this side here is going to be our top. We're going to make this sideways. And the reason we're going to make this sideways is so that it's easier for us to cut on the laser and we get a little more efficiency. So now that we have our base shape, it's the right size, it's time to go and find some more images. So we're just going to jump over to Google. So here we are in Google, and I'm going to look for a clock face. I'm going to select images, and then want to go over to tools. I'm going to thin this out a little bit. So size must be large. Okay, we need to have a large image so that we have good, clear lines, and it also needs to be black and white. So we go with those two indicators there, and you can see we now have a number of different options. So what I might do is select something like this. Now this looks like it already doesn't have a background, but it's a nice big image, so we're going to save that image, and I might just put that on my desktop for the minute. Clock numbers, just name it something that we're going to remember, and a PNG file is fine. It means it doesn't have the background there, which is excellent. Okay, now the second thing we need to look at is an image to put on our clock face, and so what we need to do then is, again, we're looking for a black and white image, and we're looking to make sure that that's a very large image. So we don't need to change any of our definitions down here, but an image of look, something with plenty of line work would be really good. Maybe Pac-Man, and we're going to go with silhouette. That way we make sure we get black and white. And what we might choose, let's have a look here. Look, we might go with something simple like this. Save the image. It's just PAC, isn't it? Pac-Man, again on our desktop, and hit save. We're now going to jump back to Photoshop. We're going to open these. So File, Open. First, let's start with our clock numbers. So we're going to open that. That opens up another file here. We want to transfer these now onto our clock face. So you come over to the left here. I'm going to select on my magic wand tool. Now if this doesn't come up directly for you, there's a menu here, and you may have to select down the bottom there as well. Now depending on your image, I have an image here that doesn't have a background, hence the checked sort of grey and white. If you have an image that doesn't have that, that's just white, that's fine. You can do this both ways. Now I've just selected that whole backing. I'm going to select outside these lines as well. And I also want to go around and inside each of my shapes. So on the 0, on the 9, and you can see I'm selecting all the backing pieces. So you may need to zoom in order to do this, but we want to get those all selected, make sure that we've got them all done. You zoom back out again a little bit. I'm not sure that I want the middle dot, so I'm going to select that one as well, and I'm just holding shift as I click, and that's going to help me select what I want to select. I'm also going to select that outer ring because I'm not sure that I want that bit either. Once I'm happy with my selection, I've got the white bits selected, the bits that I don't want, I need to come up here to select and go select inverse. What we see now is that every number has a little dotted line around. Command C for copy. Back over to my original clock image. Command V. So don't show me this again. I'm going to click OK. I then want to go Command T straight away so that I can rotate this and scale it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is rotate this by 90 degrees. So we want to make sure we get that perfect, 90 degrees, and then we can actually scale that up. So I want this to go right out to the extremities. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm going to click enter. The next thing we're going to do is our center image. So again, file, open. This time I'm going to get the Pac-Man image, and again this one doesn't have a background either. It really doesn't matter, but this one doesn't have a background, so magic wand, I'm going to select the outside shape here. Okay, and we can go all the way around. Select inverse, so we just have the black bit selected. Command C for copy. Back over to our clock face. Command V for paste. Command T then to transform that. Again, we want to rotate that 90 degrees. So we want spot on. And we can then scale that image sort of however we like. And what I might do is shrink that down and then move that. I might put him just upwards of center. Alright, so we're just lining up here. Because what will happen is our clock hands will come out of the middle there, and that it'll look like Pac-Man's then eating our clock hands. So enter with that one, and then going to come down the bottom here. I'm going to right click, and what I want to do right down the bottom here is actually flatten. So flatten image. That puts all our images onto one. We then go with File, Save, or Save As. We do not want a PNG file, so we're going to change our file format to a JPEG. We're going to call it clock on the desktop and hit Save. We want good quality, okay. From here we put this into Illustrator, and that's the next step.